What's going on, guys? It's Hi, and when it comes to electronic gimbals, a few brands essentially dominate the market, and this means that everyone else really has to up their game and throw as much as they can towards the consumer to really make some sales. And one of those brands, FeiyuTech, and this new AK4500 really embodies this motto. If you're new to FeiyuTech, this AK4500 is essentially an upgraded AK4000. Obviously, you can tell that just by the name, but I personally did not have a good experience with the AK4000. So how does this AK4500 live up, or does it hopefully exceed expectations? First off, the AK4500 comes with many of the same accessories as the AK4000. We get the follow focus, carbon fiber extension pole, tripod feet, along with a bunch of other minor things. Looking at the handle, we see that the controls are largely the same. Same touchscreen, same joystick, and same button layout. We have an updated multifunction knob on the side, but that's not too big of a deal. Turning on the gimbal, I did notice that there were a few updates to the firmware. First, the menu system looks a lot cleaner and easier to navigate. I find the settings to be pretty straightforward and easier to understand on a first look basis. Someone who's used to electronic gimbals can pick up the AK4500 and get going pretty quickly. Even if you've never used an electronic gimbal before, this menu makes it pretty easy to figure out the modes and the settings. However, it does seem like FeiyuTech is focusing more on the firmware side of things. It seems like they've added more features to the touchscreen's firmware, but actually taken away some of the features of the physical buttons. With the AK4000, the mode button allows you to switch between panning and lock mode with a single tap. Double tap and the gimbal will switch to follow mode. Triple tap and it'll enter all follow mode. The AK4500 only allows you to switch between panning and lock mode with a single tap and gets rid of the double and triple tap altogether. With the AK4000, aside from turning the gimbal on and off by long pressing the power button, a single tap will enter rolling follow mode and triple tap will rotate the pan axis 180 degrees to enter selfie mode. The AK4500's power button gets rid of all other functions and only allows you to turn the gimbal on and off. With the AK4500's missing features on the mode button, that's really only a problem if you need to be on any other screen besides the default, which allows you to switch between the modes with a single tap. However, as a vlogger, I'm really missing the selfie mode shortcut on the power button. I really hope FeiyuTech adds that back or give me another button to assign it to, because activating it in the menu is a pain when you have to do it over and over again while vlogging throughout the day. Moving from the firmware, there are some pretty nice upgrades with the AK4500. The AK4500 can now support a max payload of up to 4.6 kilograms, upgraded from the AK4000's 4 kilogram max payload. The difference may not seem that great on paper, but in this regard, the more is the merrier, because I found that with the AK4000, it often struggled with weights nowhere near the max advertised payload. The AK4500's stronger motors are going to make using larger camera setups much more enjoyable. This gimbal now also features a lock button on the three main axes. This means that you can individually lock the pan, tilt, and roll axis. This feature is nice because it makes balancing a lot easier. Say you're balancing the roll axis and the other axes are out of balance and they're moving around everywhere. Now you can just lock them down and focus on the roll axis. This feature also makes traveling with the AK4500 much easier than other gimbals. Being able to lock these axes down means that when you're moving around with the gimbal, the upper section of the gimbal and your camera isn't shifting around as you move. This is a simple thing to implement, but has become a must for me because it is so useful. Another big update with the AK4500 is the quick release plate system used to mount and dismount the camera. This is now more of a double quick release system because it utilizes two different plates. There is a longer bottom plate that attaches to the gimbal and it is Manfrotto compatible. The shorter plate attaches to the camera and that one is Arca Swiss compatible. The idea behind this is that when you get everything balanced out, you can still quickly and easily remove the camera without having to rebalance after putting it back on. The longer plate that attaches to the gimbal is the one that adjusts your balance, while the smaller plate is strictly used to mount the camera to the longer plate and the gimbal, so it doesn't have an effect on balancing. This is a pretty smart system and it works pretty well. The only drawback is that you essentially are locked into using the smaller plate that comes with the AK4500. You have to be committed to this plate and Arca Swiss, or you'll have to install another quick release plate system if you want to use another plate or just switch the plates on and off. Perhaps the most notable addition to the AK4500 is this new handle which FeiyuTech calls the Hyperlink controller. You can attach the handle to the gimbal for a more comfortable carry during underslung mode, or you can take it off completely and use it as a wireless controller. The handle allows for mode changes and quick adjustments of the gimbal either via the joystick or by moving the handle around. This can be extremely useful in many situations. One would be when there are multiple camera operators. This handle allows for one person to just control and focus on moving the gimbal while another person can focus on moving the camera. This accessory opens up a whole new world of possibilities, and just a few years ago, something like this would have cost us thousands of dollars to achieve. To have it here in this package is simply amazing. This brings me to the price. The FeiyuTech AK4500 retails for $749. This is not exactly cheap, but it is competitive. Considering all of the accessories that you get with this gimbal out of the box and its capabilities, this gimbal is really hard to overlook for the price. Like I said earlier, to compete with other brands, FeiyuTech really had to throw everything at us in terms of features, and I would have to say that it worked. The AK4500 as a whole is a very compelling package, and one that I would definitely recommend you checking out if you are in the market for a gimbal around this price range. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, comment down below any thoughts or questions you may have. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.